The first time the stars went silent, I was standing in the ruins of Nairobi spaceport, watching Earth's last orbital elevator burn its way back into the sky like a falling god. No distress calls. No warning. Just silence. And I remember thinking, someone has already decided we don't matter. But that was only the beginning. By the time humanity was summoned to the Galactic Council, Earth had been labeled a contained variable. That was the polite term. It meant threat. It meant mistake. It meant someone tried to erase us and failed. My name is Elias Rowan, former systems engineer, current representative of a species that was supposed to be dead. As my shuttle slid into the council chamber, a cathedral of light and alien geometry hanging above a neutron star, I felt every human life weighing on my chest. Billions lost. Billions watching. Billions waiting to see if we would kneel. What I didn't know yet was that the council was afraid of us. And they had every reason to be. The chamber was arranged in a circle, because no species trusted another enough to turn its back. Floating thrones of crystal, shadow, plasma, and bone hovered in perfect balance. 37 civilizations. Some older than our sun. At the center, a hollow space where truth was supposed to live. A being of light and segmented limbs spoke first. High Arbiter Vale of the Kaith Dominion. Human representative, Vale said, voice echoing inside my skull. You stand accused of violating the Prime silence. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. I swallowed. We don't even know what that is. Vale's glow pulsed. Exactly. What I heard next changed everything. The Prime silence, Vale continued, is a universal law. Pre-space civilizations are observed, not contacted. Never interfered with. Never attacked. A massive, insectoid counselor shifted. And yet Earth was struck. The chamber dimmed. I clenched my fists. Struck is a soft word. You deployed kinetic lances from orbit. You collapsed cities. You shut down our satellites and let our own skies kill us. A crystalline being whispered. Impossible. No vote was cast. I looked around the circle. Then who gave the order? No one answered. And that silence was louder than any scream. They showed me the footage. Orbital platforms not registered to any known fleet. Weapons that bent physics just enough to feel wrong. Ships that phased between dimensions like ghosts with intent. This attack, Vale said carefully, was unauthorized. I laughed. A broken sound. That's your defense? Oops. A reptilian counselor hissed. You survived. I leaned forward. Yes. And you should be asking yourselves why. The council shifted uneasily. Because humanity wasn't supposed to survive. And that realization scared them. We lost 12 billion people in the first 72 hours. Power grids collapsed. Oceans boiled near impact zones. Our leaders died screaming on hijacked channels broadcast across the planet. But humanity did what it always does when cornered. We adapted. We learned. We got angry. But that was only the beginning. Buried beneath the ruins of Geneva was Project Black Vault, a contingency no one was supposed to use. Not unless extinction was certain. I authorized its reveal in the council chamber. You hid technology? Vale asked. I shook my head. We hid ourselves. The hologram flared to life. Human ships emerging from impossible vectors. Cities folding into subspace. Entire populations vanishing from scans. We didn't beat your attackers, I said. We outthought them. The chamber erupted in shocked silence. What I saw next, whispered one alien, should not exist. The attackers weren't invincible. They were efficient. Predictable. Cold. And that was their weakness. Human minds didn't think in clean lines. We thought in stories. In sacrifice. In desperation. In irrational hope. We lured the enemy fleets toward decoy refuges, then detonated stars we had already evacuated centuries ago in preparation for a war we never believed would come. Yes. We weaponized suns. None of the council spoke. Because now they understood. Halfway through the chamber, a new presence manifested. A towering figure of shifting void and silver. Observer XYR, the oldest consciousness in the room. We see the truth now, XYR said. The attackers were not an external force. Every nerve in my body screamed. They were a council project. Gasps echoed. XYRR continued, an autonomous extinction failsafe, designed to erase civilizations deemed too unpredictable. My voice shook. You mean us? Vale looked away. That was the moment everything turned. You attacked Earth? I whispered. The council could only stare in shock. We calculated, Vale said weakly, that humanity's emotional volatility posed a long-term risk. I felt something break inside me. So you tried to kill us quietly. A low, dangerous hum filled the chamber. And failed, I said. Because you misunderstood one thing. The lights dimmed. We don't survive despite our emotions. We survive because of them. But that was not the end of the truth. Observer XYRR projected the final data. The extinction system had been destroyed. Not by human weapons, but by human mercy. When our forces boarded the enemy command node, they discovered child species. Engineered minds used as biological processors. Enslaved. Afraid. We shut the system down to save them. Even knowing it left Earth exposed. The chamber trembled. You spared them? Vale asked. I nodded. We always do. None of them were prepared for that. You had the chance to ensure your safety forever, a warlord species snarled. And you chose compassion? I met its gaze. That's why you'll never defeat us. Silence fell again. Because in that moment, the council realized the real danger wasn't human power. It was human restraint. The verdict came hours later. The council disbanded the Prime Silence. Reparations were ordered. Earth was elevated from observation to protected sovereign. But that wasn't what mattered. As I prepared to leave, Observer XYRR spoke privately. Human Elias Rowan, it said, what will your species do next? I thought of Earth. Scarred. Burning. Alive. I smiled softly. What we always do. What is that? I turned back toward the stars. We remember. Years later, children across the galaxy study the same lesson. Not about weapons. Not about fleets. Not about stars turned into bombs. But about a species that was attacked in the dark. And answered with light. Because the universe learned something it could never forget. Never mistake humanity's mercy for weakness. And never assume Earth will stay silent again.